Topic of Samayik on January 15th, you see. So if you get disturbed internally, that is Arta Dhyan, and because of your disturbance internally, if it affects the other person, that is Raudra Dhyan. And so now we need to focus on the essence and the bottom life of the infinite lives is Arta Dhyan and Raudra Dhyan. And that is the balance sheet that we carried into this life. And now we have attained Shukla Dhyan, and now in our world interactions, we are doing Pratikraman, and therefore we are converting Arta and Raudra Dhyan into Dharma Dhyan. And so we want to become, who will become Ekavatari one more life before final liberation? The one whose Arta Dhyan and Raudra Dhyan are absolutely gone. Even in the relative, they are not happening. If they arise in discharge, at that time the awakened awareness of the S capital self, Shukla Dhyan, Upyog will let you read this. Even in discharge, there should be the awareness that there should be no disturbance, that in the relative interaction, there must be Dharma Dhyan. The Dharma Dhyan is the absence of Arta and Raudra Dhyan, and Shukla Dhyan should be my state, M capital state, the state of the self. If you are suffering inside, what will happen to me? What will happen to me when I go back to my country? What will happen to my son? That is Arta Dhyan. And when you blame somebody else, then that is called Raudra Dhyan for it. But if you see it through the knowledge and the vision of the S capital self, then you have entered into Dharma Dhyan. But when the self only, small SELF suffers, that is Arta Dhyan. When others around you suffer because of that is called Raudra Dhyan. When the two of them are not existent at all, that is Dharma Dhyan. And you, the knower of that, is in Shukla Dhyan automatically. So in the unfolding life, you will definitely see others at fault, and that is where you set that he is not at fault, he is absolutely flawless. This is the circumstance that is happening. And when you have this kind of intentions, and these intentions belong to the non-self complex, and I am the pure soul in it, and therefore, and this has happened to Deepak. It is saying, you tell Uwe and Nada and Jeff and Gayatri and Siddharth through the Pratikraman, you remain the knower and the seer. This is happening to me. This is all happening. And in that which is happening, is there any reason to blame anyone? And to blame somebody else in that which is happening is the Raudra Dhyan, and it's called the Raudra Dhyan. And these wrong adverse states of meditations must not happen, and you must have the awakened aware approach to these things. And this is the Samayik that we are going to do today on the second day of the Parayan on January 15, 2012. And we are going to and if it doesn't happen, then we should Dada, let me see the Nimit as absolutely flawless. He is not the one who is hurting me. He is not the one, he is flawless. My own karma is coming in front of me, etc. Let me remain in this awareness. And that, yes, it says first step is I am pure soul, and then for sure Arta and Raudra Dhyan are definitely gone through Nishchay from the S capital vantage. But even in discharge, I want to become free from Arta and Raudra Dhyan. Now Uwe needs to become free from Arta Dhyan and Raudra Dhyan. Nada needs to become free from Arta Dhyan and Raudra Dhyan. And so when there is Arta and Raudra Dhyan within Uwe or Nada, make them do Pratikraman. You don't have to do Pratikraman. Do not see anybody at fault at all, and we move forward in this direction. And so we are not going to correct anything. Wherever it happens in unfolding circumstances, move into Dharma Dhyan, the religious meditation, and whatever happens to file 1 is under the influence of scientific circumstantial evidences. We must have the awakened awareness of wanting to do Pratikraman also. So make Deepak, make the non-self complex, make file 1 do the Pratikraman. So let us see that in Samayik, where did we have the suffering? Where did I accuse the other person as the cause of my suffering? Where did I throw all the junk on him instead of seeing Vyavasthit as the doer? And this is all happening in discharge. In discharge, nobody is at fault at all. It's pure discharge. And why is it that I continue to see this person at fault? This is the one who is the reason for my unhappiness. This is the man who is or the woman who is the reason for my happiness. Why am I being stuck up in that? I need to become free from it. I want to clear that up in Samayik today. And then as you become free from this, when that person is not bothering anyone, then you will take the suffering upon yourself. Then you are worried about, so you become free from Dharma Dhyan, Raudra Dhyan. Now you need to focus on Arta Dhyan. What's going to happen to me? How am I going to settle this file with equanimity? How will I do not want to see faults of anyone in this thing. How can I become free from it? and etc. So continuing this prarthana, this highest inner prarthana here, meaning the highest inner prayer, inner intent, and then move forward, and then ask for the energies from Dada. Dada, I am separate, and always separate. I am you. I am the pure one. You always separate from me. Dada, you are eternal and always temporary. Dada, you are indestructible, always destructible. That is the Samayik of separation. That should happen within you. But to see the mistakes of the other person has to be reversed by doing pratikraman for sure. And if there is any suffering, then focus on the suffering, find out who is suffering. Are you suffering? What is the reason for suffering? So to turn and to change Arta Dhyan and Raudra Dhyan is called Dharma Dhyan, and never to move away from the Shukla Dhyan, that I am the pure one, I am the eternal one, I am the blissful one. That is the Shukla Dhyan. And so these are the two things. So there are two experiments going on. One, at the relative level, you are converting negative internal adverse meditations of Arta and Raudra into Dharma, and while at the same time you are continuing to maintain your continued awareness of the S capital self. And so in the relative, the pratikraman is happening, and the Nischay is the self. I am the eternal one, I am the blissful one. And you do not need to become very worried about it. Even if you do a lot of pratikraman for but suffering, but you need to have the dual vision. You must have from future and the entire. There should not be such a single result where you suffer inside. Even if you have not cleared it by the time you go to bed, you must be able to clear it by the time you clear it completely. That even in the discharge there should not be. Even in discharge there must be. If you are suffering inside, only you are upset. If only Anya is upset, that is Arta Dhyan. If you're on the basis of Anya being upset, other people get upset. If Anya blames other people for it, then that is called Raudra Dhyan. If the other person is very stronger than Anya, then Anya will be depressed. And if Anya is very strong, then Anya will rise above the other person and suppress the other person. These are all reactions of Arta Raudra Dhyan. But you need to come into your awakened awareness that even in discharge, there must not be adverse internal meditation. And when there is a continued state of absence from adverse internal meditation, then you would have become fully enlightened. So this is the method and this is the path by which you can become that. This is the way in which you proceed in that direction. Every day before you go to bed, you must clear it up. You should clear it up, not must, but you should take it as must. Then it will help you even more. And so then move in this direction. So this is the first two levels. So this is for two levels only. Other people, you are hurting other people, and other people hurt you. We have not gone into it. So this is the pratikraman. Why is this discharge happening? Because either other people hurt you or you hurt other people in the previous life, and now it is coming in reactions. And so now, do you see the other person? So is there any suffering? Bhagavato? If there is any kind of suffering, then you know that something is remaining, something is pending, and therefore you need to take care of it. Separate it and ask for the energy from Dada to become free from it. And so this is what we have within us, and we should have such energies of Purusharth, of the P capital self, P capital inner progress. Does everybody understand this? This is a very close Samayik, but we need to go more on it. That not a single day should go waste without you clearing up the evidences of adverse meditation that arose within. And then you have in mind, by clearing up all of these things, then you will come to the station of Ekavatari. That means one more life, next life for sure you are in front of Lord Simandhar. Otherwise, these pending accounts of residual Arta and Raudra Dhyan will keep you coming here back again and again, will remain pending, and your time in this body will be over. So you'll have to come back to clear up that residual account. So why not continue to wash it off even in this life only? As long, little things may happen, some bad, through mind, speech and body, little things may happen, but do not make a mountain out of a molehill. Let it be a small thing only. Deal with it with equanimity, with the awareness of the self only, and also know that it happened through file 1, and make file 1 do the pratikraman, see it in exactness. And so, who will you blame in discharge? It is all happening. There is nobody to be blamed in discharge only. So, when you see the discharge as it is, And so when you see this discharge of the other person, then in that discharge you have to, in that discharge, no internal adverse results must happen within you. The way it was wound, the intensity with which, say, the intensity with the negativity, intensity of the negativity which was bound, with the same intensity of negativity it will unwind, it will express. And so at that time you must not get depressed. Just become aware that it is happening to the non-self complex of Uve, Kimochi, Nada, Aranya, and you don't need to get into it. And so this is the same thing that is, yes, it might say like that it is the same junk that we want to become free from it. It is, and that is, and there are varieties of food. You have the same masala dabbo, that you have only 6 or 7 different kinds of spices, but when you make the vegetables, every time it tastes different, does it not? So there are varieties of combination of one versus the other. So if you're cooking brinjals, if you're cooking eggplants, you say, the same every time it tastes different. Why? Because in the discharge you are applying different applications. So by seeing the discharge, you're looking at it from different angles. But the important thing is not to see the other one at fault at all. Yes. And then sometimes when you do not see the other person at fault, you start blaming yourself. You say, I'm a bad person, I'm no good, I have a lot of junk within me. But you say, in the last life, Arta Dhyan and Raudra Dhyan was in the form of causes, and now in this life it is unfolding as effect. But it is not yours. But if it does, even if you are not becoming free from Arta and Raudra Dhyan, you, this blissful one, are free from it, are you not? So come there first before you start tackling it. And yes, the Vyavahar, the worldly interaction will carry on, but I am the eternal one. So the worst thing may happen. Somebody may die, somebody get murdered, somebody get raped. So the worst thing may have happened, but you must not miss your absolutely still state. The worst may happen, but it is. You say the husband, your husband, your loving companion may have an affair with someone, a sexual affair with somebody else. So then you should know that it's a discharge. You see, it is a scientific circumstantial evidence that has unfolded. The way it was bound, it is how it is discharging. Who are you in all of this? And so you have to remain separate from it, and do not. There must not be the slightest amount of suffering within. But you see, when you say that I don't want the other person to suffer, but you take up the load of the suffering within, keep it separate. Do not become the owner of the suffering. Come to a resolution and become free from it. And then find out if there is a resolution. Pratikraman is the biggest answer. The other answer, of course, the highest answer is 5 agnas, and then second is the pratikraman. And then also, is there any penance? You see, through penance, your moh, the illusion is burning, your pride is burning, your sexuality is burning, your false desires are burning, and they burn away, and so you become free. So once the suffering goes away, then you automatically come into Dharma Dhyan. There is not the slightest evidence of trace, there is not even a trace of the results of Arta and Raudra Dhyan. That will be the nature of the Samayik. And so then this is, and set the Samayiks in such a way that this will apply to you. Let us do the Vidhi now. Let us do the Vidhi. Everybody understands this, no? Let us do a very nice Vidhi today and ask for the energies from Gnani Purush Dada Shri to grant so that in all worldly interactions there will be, in the relative worldly interactions there will be Dharma Dhyan, and in the real there will be the Shukla Dhyan only. So O Dada Bhagwan, the eternal self within us, O Lord Simandhar Swami Prabhu, with the exact applied awareness of Shuddha pure awareness as the self, in the discharging worldly interactions, whatever happens due to interactions, when things happen according to my will, and when things do not happening to my will, when my pride does not get satisfied, when my illusion doesn't get satisfied, when my greed does not get satisfied, and wherever any kashaya of mind does not get satisfied, and on the basis of that I see the other one at fault, or if I enter into the suffering mode, then, and let me see all such interactions, let me remain aware as the separate one, and to remain as the S capital self and the pure soul, and to see what is happening in file 1 and see the suffocation in file number 1 and see how file 1 sees the other person at fault. Let me see all such incidents through the vision of the 5 Agnas now, and to see the other person as absolutely flawless, and through the prayer intents and the energy of prayers, let me enter into the Dharma Dhyan results without any Arta and Raudra Dhyan. And so in the relative there is Dharma Dhyan, and in Nishchay, in the S capital self, there is Shukla Dhyan. Let me attain such a state. May I attain such a state and become, and in all results of Arta and Raudra Dhyan in the relative interactions that arise, so that I can convert it into Dharma Dhyan, grant me such Samayik and grant me in the energy to do such a Samayik. I surrender the mind, speech and body, all illusions associated with my name, Sarva Maya, Bhav karma, charge karma, Dravya karma, subtle discharge karma, yellow glasses, no karma, gross discharge karma through mind, speech and body. O Dada Bhagwan, I surrender them to you, the manifest absolute self that has arisen within me. I surrender them that all to you, my Lord. You, the absolutely manifest one within me. I surrender them to you. VISHUDDHATMA chu, VISHUDDHATMA chu, Machu, Shuddhatma chu, 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 Shuddhat. Jai Sachidanand, Jai Sachidanand, Jai Sachidanand. Do go deep and do a beautiful Samayik. This is the biggest thing to be done. All day should pass in this awareness. And I want to remain in such awareness the entire day. The slightest incident that happens, remember that this is Arta Dhyan. Anything that is disturbing is Arta Dhyan. Understand the nature of Arta and Raudra and Dharma and Shukla Dhyan. Understand this. Read the chapter on Dhyan in Aptavani 2. There's a whole chapter in Aptavani 2 on this one. And so let us do a beautiful Samayik today now. Jai Sachidanand.